Tasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading today from Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 43. Couple of thoughts before starting the verse. So the discussion between Vyasdeva and Narada was complete, and then Vyasdeva compiles the whole glorious Srimad Bhagavad Purana. And then the question changes to here the discussions about Maharaj Parikshit. Vasudha Goswami was taking a long detour at this point, at least a couple of chapters, to prep sages up to the point of hearing about the birth and activities of Parikshit Maharaj. During this time, the whole episode between Aswadhama and the Pandavas happened. In a very interesting way, in a very what do we say, thrilling way actually. Aswadhama does something which he should not do, and Arjuna promises to Draupadi that he gives a valiant promise that I'm going to bring the head of Aswadhama. Only then you can take the wash your hair like that. And then Aswadhama releases Brahmastra, and when he releases Brahmastra, then when Brahmastra is coming on Arjuna, during the chase, when Aswadhama releases Brahmastra, when he was being chased by Krishna and Arjuna, and his horses are running out, then he thought, okay, that's it. It's my last chance to live anymore. So then he releases Brahmastra. In that, don't know where Arjuna got that time. He offers nice prayers, circumambulates and counteracts Brahmastra, and brings back Aswadhama. So when he brought back to Draupadi, the scene changes here. Draupadi completely becomes what do we say, soft-hearted. And then she says this verse. The verse, um, let's see what this verse is. It's from text 43 from the chapter 7. Vacha cha sahanti asya bandhanayanam sati muchitam yesha brahmano nitharam guru. So she says vacha. Vacha means said, cha, and asahanti, sahanti, sahana, right? Being intolerable for her, asya, his bandhana, being bound, anayanam, bringing him, sati, the devoted, muchitam, release him, just get him released. Esha, this brahmana, a brahmana, Nitharam, our guru, teacher. Burijan Prabhu, in the book Unveiling His Lotus Feet, he gives a footnote saying that from starting this verse 43 till 48, Draupadi gives 6 reasons, and the essence of these 6 reasons is that Aswadhama should not be killed. That's the reason. So in this text 43, the reason he gives, she gives is, as Burijan Prabhu explains, is that the killing of this Brahmana would go against the religion. Basically, he's a Brahmana, he should not be killed. That is the reason she was giving. So this is the translation. She could not tolerate Asudama being bound by ropes and being a devoted lady. She said, release him, for he's a Brahmana, our spiritual master. So she could not tolerate here that asahanti, being unbearable. The reason is he's bounded, bandhana, and the way he was bounded was given in the previous verse. It is said like Pashuvat. Draupadi then saw Asudama, who was bound with ropes like an animal and silent for having enacted the most inglorious murder. Due to her female nature and due to her being naturally good and well behaved, she showed him due respects as a Brahmana. So she's standing directly here in the text. He is a Brahmana, our spiritual master. So one, it's a Vedic culture, Brahmana by caste is highest out of these 4. Out of the 4, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, 4 varnas, or varnas, right? Yeah, varna. It's varna. So out of 4 varnas, Brahmana is the highest. So everyone should give respect to that higher varna, and also see from her point that her glorious husband, 5 husbands, all of them are being trained by Dronacharya, and then they got so much benefited. So seeing him like that, she says, release him after all this work. Let's see what Prabhupada says in the purport. As soon as Asodama was brought before Draupadi, she thought it intolerable that a Brahmana should be arrested like a culprit and brought before her in that condition, especially when the Brahmana happened to be a teacher's son. So that is her point. And as I said already, the whole family is received much benefit. And when she sees him, that's it. There is no logic, no other thing. It was intolerable, just as being as a person. But the point of Arjuna and also Krishna is different here. Prabhupada says, Arjuna arrested Ashwadama, knowing perfectly well that he was the son of a Dronacharya. Krishna also knew him to be so. But both of them condemned the murderer without consideration of being the son of a Brahmana. So they both, Krishna and Arjuna, saw him as son of Dronacharya, Brahmana, and son of teacher. But they have, more, what do we say, more clarity, more, more thoughts, which is the murderer should not be, the murderer being the son should be condemned. Even being the son of a Brahmin should be condemned. The reason is, according to revealed scripture, a teacher or spiritual master is liable to be rejected if he proves himself unworthy of the position of guru or spiritual master. This teaching is very clear for us, but this teaching also very tricky. In a sense, like we have this famous pastime with Vamanadev, where Bali Maharaj wants to offer respects and offer gifts to Vamanadev, but Sukracharya forbids him to do so. So then, then Bali Maharaj goes against the order of Sukracharya. Also many examples like that, Prahlad Maharaj and his father and so on. But, when you're taking this teaching, take with a pinch of salt. It's not easy, at least being in this source of Kali Yuga, we don't have that much qualification to be able to distinguish. Be very careful. You're playing with Guru or fire. So if anything goes wrong, Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasado, Yasya Prasada Na Gati Kuto, we will not have any Gati if anything goes wrong. Right? So a Guru is called also an Acharya, or a person who has personally assimilated all the essence of Shastras and has helped his disciples to adopt the ways. But Ashwadama failed to discharge the duties of a Brahman or a teacher and has helped his disciple, failed to discharge the duty, and therefore he was liable to be rejected from the exalted position of a Brahmana. On this consideration, both Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna were right in condemning Ashwadama. So here comes the very important teaching for the spiritual life. Guidance of Krishna and the spiritual master is very, very important. Even one comes into situation, right? But it's a contradicting picture to Draupadi. Prabhupada says, but to give good lady like Draupadi, the matter was not considered from the angle of Shastric vision, but as a matter of custom. By custom, Ashwadama was offered the same respect as offered to his father. It was so because generally the people accept the son of a Brahmana as a real Brahmana by sentiment only. So there's a long discussion about Draupadi's vision in the previous verse. Shri Kishore Prabhu very nicely covered and smoothing nicely. So Draupadi's perception is not from the angle of Shastric vision, but as a matter of custom. And the custom is also that he's a son of a Brahma, he's to be seen as a Brahmana. Prabhupada says, factually, the matter is different. A Brahmana is accepted on the merit of qualification and not on the merit of simply being the son of a Brahmana. So that's the other side of the picture. Now, Prabhupada gives a very nice instruction for us, taking this situation, which has many lessons. He says, but in spite of all this, Draupadi desired that Ashwadama be at once released. and it was all the same, a good sentiment for her. This means that a devotee of the Lord can tolerate all sorts of tribulation personally, but still such devotees are never unkind to others, even to the enemy. These are the characteristics of one who is a pure devotee of the Lord. So that completes the whole picture. Ashodhama, Draupadi is having one set of perception, and Krishna and Arjuna is having different side. And Prabhupada is finally saying to us that devotee to tolerate all sorts of tribulations which comes to him personally, but still they're always kind to others, even to the enemy. This is the characteristics of one who is a pure devotee of the Lord. So this is a full picture. It's already 7:20. I'll just share something, some thoughts for grihasthas. So this is a common situation in our lives. One person wants to do it. The second person wants to, no, don't do it, right? So that is one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is also, we are getting this lesson very early in the Bhagavatam. We are getting right in the first canto within the 7th chapter. Like when we start Krishna consciousness, I remember myself asking, you tell me one thing, you don't tell me two things. But here, Arjuna will be getting two things here. I don't know. I have to just to point some things here. Arjuna gave more valid logical reasons in Bhagavad Gita. 5 reasons he gives: compassion, sinful reactions, welfare of the society, and the indecision and all that, right? At the end of the day, Krishna just gives him chastisement, saying, Anarya Justam, you're just thinking like an Anarya, just come on, get up and fight. Here, the picture is a little different. When Arjuna and Krishna brings back Aswadama, and now Draupadi says like this, and Krishna also said to kill him, actually, earlier was. And now Draupadi gives the reasons, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj agrees to it, and Nakula Sahadeva accepts Bhima. So then Krishna finally says, you have to fulfill both. At least, one part of, instead of chastisement here, Krishna is giving a teaching here or instruction here. On the other side of it is, the instruction he's giving is not an easy instruction. Arjuna has to fulfill both, kill and not kill. So that is, I see it like a important quality for spiritual life, because before coming to Krishna consciousness, is always the teaching is, do it, don't do it. That's the only thing. But Krishna consciousness is both doing and not doing. Right? I don't know if you observed or not, but I had a lot of difficulty with that when I was, trying to understand the Krishna conscious principles. So some picture behind that, like combining the do it or not do it, that the common syndrome we go, and also the common tendency that goes between wife and husband. One person says do it, another person says no. It is said like brain has 2 parts, left side and the right side, and scientifically, at least, it was known that right part of the brain is said to be more creative, artistic, and things like that, but left side is more logical. And it is said men are more of left brainers and women is right brainers. So then, like, then the question comes like, which side is, the pure devotee? Pure devotee, you mean it goes beyond this man and woman thing. He's a pure devotee of Krishna, pure soul. Which side of the brain is basically it's the both sides. It's a balanced. Pure devotee has both. That's the instruction we're also getting here. Krishna is telling you how to do both. Right. So the solution out here, what to do when the solution comes, Srila Prabhupada nicely gives an instruction for a pure devotee. The main tendency of a pure devotee, of course, Krishna Sharana, but he exhibits that through making the best use of the bad bargain. So that's how to go about it, if whether able to do or not to do. Because if we just get stuck to one side of it, we'll not be able to make movement in our life. It is like this, you need to go somewhere, but then you are having some issues in the local front. So we just, get observed in the local issues, then we'll not be able to move forward to the desired goal, or move forward anywhere actually, right? So both are important. And the structure of instruction is always, it's from Krishna, and then, Guru and Krishna, and Guru's instructions come from Guru Sadhu Shastra. The cycle always remains the same. So when we take upon that intelligence, then we'll be able to move forward. That's the way out. And one thing I also want to touch upon is I'm coming across this situation where, like, there is intense purification happening, especially now the COVID time. Previously, there is a escape time between wife and husband. Husband or a wife, and they both goes to work and you're only coming back, and then it is a little bit less now. It's like, in addition to the increased stress and pressure at work, there is increased stress and pressure at home, friends also. It is all the time. And for some of them, it is like taking the life away, that kind of situation. So just I was doing some little research, and I just want to share. I mean, for me, when I was trying to understand why and what to do, the preface of the introduction of preface of the Bhagavad Gita helped very much. I will read for you all as well here. So basically, what is to be the way out is expect that it's going to be tough. This is what Prabhupada says. It's in the preface, second paragraph. He says, human society at present moment is not in darkness of oblivion. It has made rapid progress in the fields of material comfort, education, and economic development throughout the entire world. But there's a pinprick somewhere in the society, somewhere in the social body at large, and therefore there are large-scale quarrels even for less important issues. That's what. So there is a pinprick somewhere in the society body at the large. So like when you're having a pain, when you're having a health issue or something is picking you, pinpricking you all the time, and then even small thing happens, in the large scale quarrels will happen for less important issue. So what to do? So Prabhupada says, there is a need of a clue as to how humanity can become one in peace, friendship, and prosperity with the common cause. That need, Srimad Bhagavatam filled this need, for it is a cultural presentation for the spiritualization of the entire human society. So we need to read Srimad Bhagavatam. We need to do our sadhana nicely, so that we personally can become free from that pinprick situation so that we will not aggravate the small things. Okay. Um, just want to share that. And um, there is another point, but I'm going to skip that point. Um, but I also want to bring attention to this again, how to handle the situation at family friend. This is from the Prabhupada lecture on the same verse. Prabhupada says, the husband should give to the wife the topmost protection, and the wife should be so faithful to the husband. And he quotes Chanakya Pandita. Chanakya Pandita says that if one has not got a mother at home and the wife is not agreeable or not very peaceful, he says, Mata yasya grihe nasti bharya cha priyavadini aranyam tena gantavyam yata aranyam tata gruham. Prabhupada says, he advises if one has no mother at home and wife is apriyavadini, not very agreeable, she talks very roughly, not very nicely, then that person immediately leave that home and go to the forest. Yataranyam tata griham. For him, either at the home or in the forest, the same thing. Yataranyam yata griham. This is Vedic culture. Women should be trained up from the very beginning to become a good wife and a good mother. That's a duty of that's a duty. So, but I found a very nice solution to even go over our local issues. That is to engage in the Sankirtana movement. That's continuing of the lecture. Prabhupada says here, I'm going to read 2 paragraphs here, a little bit long. Okay. So modern civilization is not strictly following the Vedic injunction. Therefore, especially I have seen in the Western countries, there is no home practically. There is no homely happiness because women are allowed to mix freely and there's no protection. They're not married. There is no husband. The father also doesn't take care. As soon as the girl becomes 15, 16, she goes away. Therefore, I have practically seen there is no peace in the Western countries. These are very important things. The soft-hearted women, Vama Swabhava, they should be given protection. They should be trained up how to become faithful wife, affectionate mother. Then the home will be very happy. And without happiness, we cannot make any spiritual progress. We must be peaceful. This is the preliminary condition. Therefore, as far as possible, Vedic injunction is there, should be division in the society, varnashrama Ved. So, skipping some. So, varnashrama Ved, Purushena Parapuman Vishnu Aradhita. Our only aim should be how to approach Vishnu. Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Parataram Devi Tadenyam Samachanam. This is the instruction of Lord Shiva to Parvati. Parvati's question was, which Aradhana is best? So he replied, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. He says, yeah. So there is some missing words here. Knowledge is there. They have not lost that knowledge, but we have neglect. If we take advantage of this knowledge, then the whole world becomes happy. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission. What's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission? He quotes Bhagavatam with a verse and he says, anyone who has taken birth on the land of Bharatavarsha, it is Punya Bhumi. And not only Punya Bhumi, not only Ramchandra has appeared here, not only Krishna has appeared, not only Buddha has appeared, not only Chaitanya has appeared here, because it is Punya Bhumi. Whenever the Lord appears, he comes on this land. Bharat Bhumita Manisha. Therefore, the human beings, not the cats and dogs, must take advantage of this birth on Bharatavarsha and take advantage of Shastras and make his life successful. Charma, Sadhaka Kori Karapugar. Indians are not made for exploiting others. Upakara. How people will be advanced in spiritual consciousness. How they will understand the Supreme Personality Godhead Vishnu. Because they do not know what the aim of life is. Parabhavastavad abodayat jato yavan na jijñasatu tattva. We are born all fools and rascals. Abodha jata, without any sense. We require education. Atma tattva. So cultivate it. That is the first instruction in the Bhagavad Gita. So just a summary. Ashwadama, seeing Ashwadama, Draupadi says no. But Arjuna thought, I mean, Arjuna has a duty actually to punish him. It will, otherwise it will not be nice. But Prabhupada gives us instruction that is this nice qualities not called to Draupadi. One should tolerate all the personal insults, but still be kind to others, including the enemies, to speak of others. And then the picture is, this is a common, this is a day-to-day dilemma, and now the situation has become more aggravated. The clash, this opposite perceptions between wife and husband in the modern world, especially during the Corona time. Way out is, should read Bhagavatam, and we should have nice sadhana so that we'll have reduced diseased condition or pinprick situation, so that will not aggravate the small things that happens in everyday life. And more to it is take up on the Sankirtana mission. Sankirtana mission is like, in the sense that not just Sankirtana book distribution, or not just that one, but assist Lord Chaitanya. Especially Prabhupada is telling here, Indians are not meant for exploiting others. So we can remember that, and then cultivate knowledge in Atma Tattva and share it with others. Thank you all very, very much for sitting with it for a long time. So some sharings or some corrections, some updates we can say, not corrections. Anything that needs to be aligned, any discussion quickly, 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. You touched upon just before. The kind of. We were discussing last couple of days. It looks like it is kind of completely different. The way Arjuna is acting on Krishna's instructions here and Bhagavad Gita, right? The Tanari Jushtam is working. He completely says that you are talking like learned person, but here we don't see that. He's kind of approving what Draupadi says, or of course, Arjuna has done both ways. No yes or no. Both the things he is establishing or accomplishing at the. It's not like same instruction applies all the time, and also he's trying to do both. So that requires a lot of intelligence.
It's a spiritual intelligence we need.
Yeah.
That's whether we get into problem, whether should I do this, should I not do this? It's not. It's about both. He also says, should I take should I give up and take devotion service? Should I give up the work? All this. Different variations. Yeah.
That's right. You put it nicely, actually. So, thank you,
Prabhu, for encouraging me. Yeah, once we do both, then it's more happier, peaceful journey. Though, Tivra Bhakti has more power, but whoever of us who are not at that level, do it both. Okay, then we'll come to the closure. So just reminding the verse again. Vacha chasahanti asya bandhanayanam sati bandhanayanam sati muchitam yesha brahmano nitaram guruhu. She could not tolerate Ashwadama being bound by ropes and being a devoted lady. She said, release him as a Brahmana or spiritual master. Okay, thank you all so much for giving this opportunity. Hare Krishna.